Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for a quid. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com. Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for a quid. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com.
You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech for Tech Talk. Let me just get rid of that QR code. What's stuck right in front of my face? 1 second. There we go. That's a bit better. Right. Okay. So let's start again. This is the Tech for Tech Talk. This is a live show where anything can happen, including QR codes in your face. Tonight we're going to be talking about distributor divide. So we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the not so ugly, maybe. So let's start off with the comments. So, guys, if you can see us, I'm just turning the comment section on. Just comment. Let us know you can see and hear us. There will be a roughly 20-second delay by the time where I say something and you reply and it comes back to us. But I can see that Peter's saying evening all. We've also got Sean saying hi. We've got Dean as well saying hi as well. Sorry, it's not Dean, that's Carl. Getting him mixed up. But there we go. So we've definitely got a few people tuning in tonight, I can see. So that's good. Again, comment in the comment section just below or to the side. One thing to bear in mind, if you are on Facebook and your name comes up as Facebook user, click the link I'm putting in the chat now, which is chat.restream.io/FB, and that'll allow your name to be shown and displayed in the chat. So we've got Blue Bolt PC saying evening all. So hi, Blue Bolt. I hope you guys are doing well. Right, okay, let's get on to who we've got on the show today. So my name's Philip Griffiths, and this is
Jenny, and we are your hosts for the night. So
that we are. And we've also got on the show, we've got Ian and Ken. We'll come to those in a few seconds. So again, guys, just remember, click that link, what I've said, chat.restream.io/FB. It'll allow your name to be shown in the chat. We do have a few distributors I know watching tonight. Very curious about what people are going to be saying to them. You'd be surprised at how many of them ring up when they know that they're going to be talked about, just in case anything bad comes up.
And
probably.
how many don't?
And how many don't as well. So I was actually surprised by some of the ones what did call us and some of the ones what didn't. But there we go. So, but it just shows which ones are more proactive and actually want to get engaged as well. So First of all, before going any further, let's introduce our guests today. So, Ian, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name's Ian. I work for IPC. Well, I'm the owner of IPC Solutions in Malden, Essex. I buy, sell, repair laptops, computers, desktops, gaming PCs, and sell to public and trade. That's me.
Right. Do you have any tips or advice or stories for us?
Well, I was thinking today, I've been away for the last 11 days on holiday, to be fair. But I did have a training session today on Microsoft. Oh God, it's gone completely out of my head now. It's come back to me. Oh God, isn't that embarrassing? It's
must have been a good lesson.
It was really good because Planner, Microsoft Planner. That's it. Because I was looking for a CMS system and something I could get myself better organised on the computer, etc. With, and it was really, really good. And I'm going to integrate it into my business with regards to jobs that come in, allocating myself a specific time on Fridays and Saturdays, etc. of when I'm going to do a job, and you can complete jobs and you can add external partners to it, so I can add their emails address so they'll get a live update of when I've completed the job, etc. So I'm going to start using that quite heavily, and I think that could be a good free tool that I can use in Microsoft Teams, and it's also available by 365 as well. And when I looked at that 365 at work, there was loads and loads of different apps on there that I haven't used, and to-do lists and things like that. So I would say if you've got 365, then utilize some of those apps, because I haven't been and I will be. And that was all thanks to my main job. So yeah, I'm going to be using that in my business. moving forward.
So that's pretty good. That is. There's definitely a lot of stuff in the Office 365 packages, which I'm guessing most of us don't touch. Pretty much 90% of it, to be honest. So yeah, definitely a good point there. And it's always good to remember what you were actually doing in the training session as well. So,
I knew it'd go.
What you trained for.
Right, let's just quickly go to chat first. So we've got John saying evening all. We've got Facebook user. I'm guessing that's Cormac from Ireland saying he's looking forward to the show. We've also got another Facebook user saying evening. Again, you Facebook users, if you can just go into this link I'm going to share in the chat now, just click on that. And it'll ask you, do you allow Facebook to basically share your information with the live chat? You just press allow, and bang, your name will be shown on the chat in the future. So again, we've got quite a few people watching tonight, so especially distributors. So it'll be an interesting one. So let's go on to Ken next. So Ken, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what you do, and if you've got a tip or a story for us.
Ken from Canny Clever. Whitley Bay is our stomping ground up here. Nice on the coast, lots of hotels. Seem to be doing really well with tourists at the minute, and I don't know why. I think our big tip is to use the Microsoft Action Pack if you subscribe to it to its fullest potential. We've recently started using Microsoft Dynamics in there to manage jobs, case files, income and sales requests. And you're about to see lots of people leaving here, but that's normal. That's unplanned, but there you go. But yeah, biggest tip is to look at the Action Pack, see what software you can get. I know you get Microsoft Office thrown in there, Windows, a load of other productivity stuff, the 365 suite, for instance, Partner Portal. I think there's another subscription which gets you access to product keys for older products as well. But I think it's cost us about £400 for a year. It's due for renewal shortly, so we've just recently started exploring that, seeing what we can get out of it for free. It's not often Microsoft give you free things, but it's worth a look. So if you don't subscribe to the Action Pack, have a look, see if it's for you.
There you go. Some good tips there. It looks like a Microsoft night tonight with other tips anyway. So it looks like we definitely got one of the distributors watching us tonight. So hi, Paul. That's at i3i Distribution. So thank you for watching. So I had a good chat with actually Paul a few days ago. So he's given me some information to share on the show tonight as well. So from their point of view, and we've also got a couple of other distributors which have done the same as well. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. Right. So Jen, first of all, let's go to you. So introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, and if you've got any tips for us.
I'm the boss.
That's it. Done.
No, seriously. I do a lot of behind the scenes work here at Tech for Techs. I'm usually the person that you get on the phone or in correspondence. Like if you're signing up to TechMax, go to info@techmax.co.uk. Well, actually, it'd be better if we go to info@techfortechs.co.uk and you'll get the correct people.
It's a good start. I'll put it on the screen for anyone who's...
Yeah, if you want to go to TechMax, I'm the person to talk to about that. Just let me know how many tables you need, how many tickets. I'm your go-to girl for that. I also am the one that edits the videos and makes sure that Bill returns your calls when you call. So that's a job in itself.
Yeah, you do a hell of a lot of work, that's for sure. So, right, okay. So we've got Jason saying evening as well. So let me go on to my information first. So we're going to go with the Tech for Tech news. Start off with TechMax. So we've had two more vendors sign up. We've got Norton and Strong. So you've got a security and networking vendor there. So that's another two what have signed up. You're going to find a lot more officially signing up in the next few weeks, as obviously all the documentation and payments and all this, that and the other come through. One of the things with vendors and distributors, they can be a little bit slow. They might be quick at wanting you to pay them money, but getting it the other way sometimes takes a few nudges and bumps and bangs.
Blood out of a turnip comes to mind.
So we'll see if you'll definitely be seeing a few more over the next few weeks, just to show you guys who is actually signed up at the moment. Let me just stick it on the screen. Here we go. So let's start off at the top. So we've got Aerocool, CMS Distribution, we've got PAX 8, we've got EADR, so that's East Anglian Data Recovery, we've got Replace Base, we've got Spire, we've got Hammer, we've got TechPoint Distribution, you've got Target Components, Lexar's in there, you've got Case King as well. We've got Cherry on there, Thunder X3, Fantex, Endgame, Leolan. No, I always get this one wrong. Leon Lee, get it right. Streamplify, Co-Link. God, yeah, I think I've got it right this time. You got ALM Wholesale as well. We've got Recycle Your Tech as well with them. VIP is going to be in the house as well. We've got Bugs and Bytes Computing. We've got a Pacer. We've got Strong, which we've mentioned, Norton as well. We've got ISL Online. So if you're looking at doing some like remote support and stuff, definitely check them out. And we've got the guys at MZ Soft as well there. Obviously, they're going to be showing off their security products as well. So
and there's more that I'd like to announce, but I haven't received your payment as of yet, so I can't advertise for you. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, hint, hint again. So, but yeah, there will be a few more coming up on that. So let me just put the screen back on. So that's basically it for the vendors. The award nominations are now live. So if anyone is interested in doing the awards or entering the awards this year, that is now live on the website. So I'll put that up on the screen in a few seconds. But basically, the address, you just go to the normal Tech for Tech's website, so techfortech.co.uk, and then click on awards at the top. So nominations end on March the 20th. The final will be in June. That is going to be at TechMax. So make sure, obviously, you're attending TechMax. Let me just turn the chat off just slightly so everyone can see that. And then you've got all the different awards there. So we've got Vendors Awards, we've got Distributor Awards, Tech Store Awards, and then on the next few pages you can upload pictures for doing certain things like best automotive signage, storefronts, and all this, that, and the other. So if you guys haven't already nominated yourselves, yes, you can nominate yourselves. You can nominate more than one person and so forth. It doesn't matter how many votes you get on the nominating, it takes you to the next round. So if you only get 1 or 100, it doesn't matter. On the next round, which is when the voting starts, that's when obviously it counts how many votes you get, and that's obviously what gets you to the final in the end. And the finalists will be announced on May the 4th, which is an interesting,
with you.
Yeah, interesting day for most Star Wars fans. So there we go. So let me just turn that off now and get the chat back on. So let's got rid of all the chat. So, okay, so we've got more Facebook users saying evening all. We've got Carl Woods as well saying be good to be back. Was a great day last year. So, yeah, talking about TechMax. And we've got Neo saying evening all, as well as Jason as well saying evening. So, right, so let's go on to the next bit. So, today's sponsor. So, obviously, I think you all know what today's sponsor is going to be. It's going to be this. Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for a quid. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com. So yeah, so if you haven't registered, do what that guy just told you there. Register now, get yourself a ticket for TechMax. Obviously, you're going to be meeting like 800, potentially more other guests just like you. So the networking thing at these shows, and we always say this about any events, whether you're going to a Target event, Aspire, a Tank, or whoever, it's the networking which we find is the most important thing, and you get to meet the vendors and build up relationships, and that's how Tech for Techs was born, by doing these sort of things. So I would really, really advise, if you are wanting to obviously grow your business, look at different things, you do sign up if you haven't already. Right, talking about next things, and then we'll go on to the main topic. So next thing to show you is the Tech members area. If you haven't already signed up, the website is tftmember.co.uk. I'll put that on the screen as well for you. So, which is there, sliding across the bottom. You will be able to obviously sign up on here. We've got a forum on there as well. It's not to replace the Facebook page, it's an addition. So we'll be having a bit more added into there. We've already had quite a few people sign up. You can add yourself to the map as well. So you can see the different people who have signed up on here. And obviously you can click different ones and it'll load up the information and so forth. So there you go. So we've got one there. And vendors and distributors can basically sign up for this. And that way, if you're looking for a new distributor, you can just go onto the map and have a look, see what's available and who's got all the stuff. So this is for you to sign up, totally free. It doesn't cost a penny, and that's for techs, vendors, distributors, repair shops, whatever you want to be. So make sure you do sign up. And obviously we will have, or we do already have, discounts and different things in the forum section already. We'll be making a bigger push for this website later in the year and adding more features, so it's best you get involved and get accepted straight away, rather than getting stuck in the backlog a bit later in the year. Right, okay, let's go on to the main topic and talk about what we're here for. So, right, here we go. So obviously today's topic, we're talking about distributors. Obviously, are they good? Are they bad? What's going wrong? Some are doing things really good, and obviously there's some outside things what are happening. I'm going to go to Jen first because we've had a few messages from different distributors, and we're not picking specific distributors first or anything like that. But we are, should I say, we're going to go to Spire first. And the reason why we're going to Spire is because they won the Tech Awards last year for Best Distributor. So obviously we're going to see what they have to say first. So Jen, if you want to let us know what Mike had to say.
Okay, Mike Bato is his name, and he's a really nice guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him recently. And he says, "Great to hear you're doing a show on distributors, and please pass my best wishes to all of the Tech for Techs members. There's rarely a time when one component or another isn't in global shortage, and presently it's the turn of top-end graphics cards and their PSUs to power them. We continue to work closely with key manufacturers to ensure that our broad customer base gets good supply across the board. Of course, the cost of living crisis has had an impact on all of us, and greater than ever is the need of independent techs to be competitive and make margin. Our resellers are making use of exclusive retail and SI schemes we offer, giving them a crucial advantage when every penny counts. Please reiterate to those watching and listening on that we'll be watching too and are keen to hear the feedback and respond to it. Have a great show from Mike."
There we go, and also popped up a bit of information about Spire there for anyone who's interested. So thank you, Spire, for responding and getting in touch with us and giving us that information. Let's go around the room first and talk, or next, should I say, talk to Ian and Ken and see what their experiences are. Rather than randomly shouting things out, let's start with could do better, okay? Don't pick any specific vendor, just let us know in general, or stories you've got from a specific vendor distributor, but just don't obviously mention who they are, if that's okay with you. We'll start with you, Ian, first.
The good, I think no. I have quite a positive engagement with a lot of the distributors now, to be honest. Some of the account managers I find are better than others. There was a time when I think one certain account manager for a certain distributor was kind of on the phone quite a lot during the week and trying to sell me things all of the time, and it just got a bit tiresome. But I think when you give them feedback, then a lot of them will sort of listen to it and go, okay, when would you prefer me to call you? And I think the account manager relationships I've got now are quite good, and they're getting to know the kind of products that I buy. Certain companies or distributors rather have certain product lines that others don't have, especially with what I would call graded items, where I find is the good value, especially when you're building gaming desktops, etc. You can certainly find some bargains. They all come with warranties, yearly warranties, so there's no issues there. You just got to be mindful about what you buy. And I think, and also when I've bought some of these products and they have been faulty, the RMA processes have been fairly smooth. A lot of them don't refund your money; they give you it as credit, which I do find annoying. And some of them say that's our policy. That's the general policy for most distributions or most retail stores. Which I say to them, no, it's not, because most I do get my money back. And if I've sent you back £1,000 graphics card, and I've got to then pay the customer that £1,000 back, or however much I charge them, you've got £1,000 of my money in credit, but I actually need that back. A lot of the time to probably buy some other products elsewhere. So that does annoy me. It gets on my and those policies. I think it might be their local policies within the company themselves, but I think they're allowed to roll pony, because if I want my money, I want my money. And that's the same with not just distribution, but I'm finding with suppliers. If I can put suppliers in the distributor bracket as well, like laptop suppliers and stuff like that, and recycling firms. Yeah, some of them, I'm waiting a refund from one that I keep chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing. It's getting excuse. And as Ben has done for different things, Ben Ashcroft for Bugs and Bites, he always says, when I get down to that level, you need to do the action before letters. So some are better than others, but overall, most are good. The RMA processes for some of them could be a little bit better, and some of them where they send you the wrong product, which I've had recently with some screens, etc. When they've sent you the wrong one, you have to pay the return postage. I think that grains me a bit, because I get the refund for the screen. That's not a problem, but I shouldn't have to then lose £5 or £6 to send you an item that you sent me wrong in the first place. So those little things, because I wouldn't do that to my customers. So that's kind of that's my feelings on it. But overall, positive relationships with distributors. Some are better than others, and some have gone off the boil a bit, and some aren't as good as they were. But again, it's and I think the gentleman from Spire just said it in his keynote that he just gave, that there is a lot of products that are out of stock, high end stuff, and it's the brands as well. I find the brands are getting less and less on some of the distributor websites. So the choice isn't there. So I go elsewhere to your Scans and your Overclockers and stuff like that, because they often have a bigger product range as well and seem to have more availability a lot of the time. But I always go distribution first.
Yeah,
I agree.
Totally agree there. Just to add on to the point, what Ian's saying about the credit, obviously then you've got to spend £1,000 somewhere else to get the thing you wanted, which could potentially put your business, especially if you're a startup business or a small business, it could potentially put you in debt, or make it so you've got to sign up for a credit account with somewhere where you really didn't want to, which could then cause even more issues down the line. So I think for giving credit to smaller businesses, sometimes, I know the distributor wants you to come back and spend the money with them, but I think sometimes that can cause them in the long term, or even the short term, more issues, to be honest with you. And I've said it in the past, we got caught in the credit trap many years ago, cost us a lot of money, and we managed to get out of it. It took a hell of a lot of work. I'd suggest trying to stay away from there, especially if you're a startup business or something like that. It's one thing if you know you've got the money coming in. Sometimes you've got the money coming in and it doesn't come in, and then you're stuck. So yeah, definitely there. So let's just go on to Ken now and see what Ken's got to say, and then we'll go to the chat, and then go through to our next distributor as well, which has made a few comments.
Yeah, I think I would just echo what Ian was saying about refunds. I wouldn't be so bad if they asked. if they gave you the option, either get a refund onto your card or however you originally paid, bank transfer or onto account. We're fortunate we've got accounts with most places, and because of what we're spending, it doesn't generally cause us problems. But with bigger orders, £1,000 graphics cards, for instance, yes, it causes bumps in cash flow, causes a few problems all over the place, especially if you've had to refund a customer. I think one of the other areas where a lot of the distributors can improve, some do it really well. Obviously, I can't name them, but people might know who they are. Some do it really well, others don't. Product feeds. We have a website, as a lot of us probably will do. And rather than type in 5,500 products or however many there is, we use the product feeds to populate the website with an hourly update to keep the stock up to date. So it's as near real time as we can do it. We recently had an issue with an unnamed distributor who has a product feed which is very static. I think the only thing that changes, the only option we can customize, in fact, I don't think we can customize it. I think it's just the stock count that changes. They recently added some gaming cases on there, which were really sought after a couple of months ago. The Evangeline range, I think, from Aces. They've accidentally added it to the product feed about 2 weeks ago, which in turn pushed it onto our website. And I think within the space of an hour, I think we'd sold 2 or 3 of these cases, not realizing that we'd actually sold them. When we've checked the orders, it's looked onto the supplier and said, "Oh, we need 3 of these cases," and it's a case of, "Oh, that's an error." So I think information accuracy on product feeds is a massive issue for us. There is one of our principal distributors gets it really spot on, and we can customize the product feed to suit what we need. But some of the others, varying degrees of success. Some have sent us product feed files, and in all honesty, we can't use them. There's either little or no information in there. The formatting's all over the place. There's nothing uniform. There's random comments in from salespeople, which we can't go through every product feed line by line every time it's updated. We don't have the resource for that. So we need distributors to do that for us and make sure that the product feeds are fit for purpose.
Yeah, definitely some good points there. You'd think from tech distributors they would get the tech side of things a little bit better sometimes, but I must admit I have seen and heard similar things from other people before. So it's good, definitely good points there. You've got a question what came in a few minutes ago, Jennifer. So on a private message. So what was it they had to say? Let me go to chat while you're finding it again. So, right, okay, we've got Facebook user saying, "Evening all, sorry I'm late." We've got Adam also saying, "Can I get a copy of the full video?" The full video will be on LinkedIn, what you're watching on now. It's on YouTube as well. You just go to youtube.com/Tech for Techs. You can also find it on Facebook if you search for Tech for Techs Group Limited as well. So also Neo Computers is saying, "I had a call today to ask why I don't buy much from a specific distributor. Pricing has been an issue. And when I said that, the salesperson said, well, just phone us and we'll update the pricing." So yes, a lot of the times it's always good to have an account manager and a good one, because a lot of them will bend a little bit with the prices of what's on the website. Sometimes you get some which, I must admit, there's one I've used quite a lot recently, and I can't remember the last time I got a discount. I think the other day I might have got 50p off my delivery. But every time I call, it's either the order's not big enough, so I can't give you a discount, or the order's big, but because the high-end items, there's not much margin in them, and it's like, whatever you say, it's like pretty much a no.
The answer is no.
And then
Either
other
way
ones
you say it.
and other ones you'll call and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll automatically knock you a couple of percent off of that, a couple of percent off of that, or whatever." It might only add up to pennies, but over a year it adds up to quite a bit. So some are more active than others. I think some account managers may get a little bit too settled in sometimes and think, well, they're going to buy from me no matter what, so they don't knock off money, because obviously most account managers, I'm not saying all of them, are on commission. So obviously they want to make as much, sell as much, spend as much, because if they're knocking some money off, it's probably less money they're earning out of it.
I had one the other day. My delivery was late, And I called them up and I said, where is this delivery that I needed? And they said, oh my gosh, you paid for next day delivery. And they said, I'm refunding that next day delivery and I'm guaranteeing it will be with you tomorrow. And they were ever so apologetic.
Mm.
So to me, if it's going to be late, eating the cost of delivery, that's one thing that you can do for the customer to make them happy.
Yeah, definitely good points there.
Mm. But
What was that question?
uh, this came in earlier in a private message from someone named James. My beef with distributors is they get stuff in and I buy it and like it. And when I go back to buy it, the next time it's discontinued.
Yeah, I've come across that in a good few many times in the past. So they beg you to buy it, and then you finally give in. After 6 months, you buy it, and then you go, "Oh, actually, it did really well," and then go back to buy more. It's like, "Oh, sorry, we've discontinued it," and it's like, that was a waste of time. So, especially if you've spent a lot of marketing and advertising the products in your own, let's say, store, or even if it's just digital media online on social media, it's just time and effort you've spent, and then you promoted a brand, and then you can't even get it anymore. So it's, yeah, must admit I've had that a few times. Was that Jason?
That
Was it
was
James?
that was
James.
James.
So whoever James is, then yeah, definitely agree on that one. Right. Let's quickly go to chat, and then we'll go on to what i3I's had to say. So we got
So
PC
can I
Guy
just
time.
ask? Can I just
Yeah.
ask Ken a question? Sorry, Ken. Just going back
Mhm.
to the product feeds that you mentioned a little bit earlier. Have you ever had problems with pricing?
Yes. Now, the one that we use as our primary distributor, we get the option to customize the pricing at their end. We set the margin and it populates the fields on the website quite easily. I would say the next best one, it's a flat file. We have to import that into Excel, then do a little bit of manipulation there with a few formulas, and then it spits out another CSV file, which we've manually got to import. It just adds extra resource, which we really don't want or have. Um, there is some of the product feed files that we've come across. Trying to add anything to them, it's almost impossible. So I think if anybody was to look at our website, for instance, it references a few different warehouses. Our customers think we've got loads of warehouses all over the place, which would be fantastic. But in reality, they are suppliers who will drop ship for us and
Yeah.
will sell into our store for us. They're not ranked in any particular order on there, but some products are available in more than one distributor. And the problem we find there is one distributor will have a different price to another, and that will cause a bit of conflict on our website when it tries to update the same product. In those circumstances, we always go for the highest price option, which gives us more margin, and we'll buy it at the lower distributor price. The other thing we found with some of the product feeds, especially the quality side, the descriptions, if you took two distributors who sell the same product, the description is quite often different.
Mm.
It depends who's written the content at their end, I suppose, and it depends on their perspective. But I think what a lot of the distributors don't realize, we're trying to sell these firstly to a retail market. We use our website in store as a catalog as well to show people what we can get them. But equally, a lot of our stuff goes into the SEO on the website, which then gets all over Google, Yahoo, and others. So when people are searching for it, if the distributor's getting the description wrong, or even if they've got the model number wrong, or if there's any errors in there, it's magnified massively. We found when I referenced the case issue we had with the feed, when we searched for that case online trying to fulfill the order from somewhere else, we found another 6 independents who had the same product on their website with the same product quantity, same pricing, and it all originated from the same product feed from one particular distributor.
Ouch.
So the potential there is, I think customers are fairly reasonable. I mean, the ones we had, we refunded them, and we're trying to get them other product. Some people are more reasonable than others. It just gets the industry a bad name when we mess people about like that. So we want to eliminate all of those errors if we can. I don't think we'll get rid of all of them, but if we can get rid of the bulk of them, it'll be a big step. But the pricing, I think the pricing, we might need to ask some distributors who provide no options to customize them. If they don't want to allow us to customize our product feeds, we'll just go elsewhere. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I found that some of the ones I got through on a particular feed from a distributor were like completely and utterly ridiculous, like £103 6719444 into decimals, and when you look at it on their website, it's like 20 quid.
Yeah.
It's like, and when I put the feed on my website, so I checked most of it, it just went berserk. It just went berserk,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god! And I've got 1,000 products I've got to manually go and delete.
Yeah, I mean, I think one particular distributor, it's quite a new one to us. We haven't bought much from them, and I kind of get the impression from the product feed and from the prices we see on their website, they don't want us to buy from them, because you've mentioned the price. It's like £99, 99999, whatever. I think we had a portable hard drive that was quoted at £9,999 the other day. You know, if they can't get the basics right like that, then what else is going to go wrong when we order? So I'd rather not take the risk at that stage. It's our reputation we're looking after. So I think we tend to stick with tried and tested. And you know, the group
In their defense, I've seen people put prices up there ridiculous high when they know that they're out of stock of it, but they intend on having stock come in, and they don't want you to buy it, and they know that no one will spend that much for a portable hard drive. So I see why they've done it, you know. Yeah.
It's just their system's
It's
a little bit inflexible, because the last thing you want is all these products popping on your own website if you're sharing them, £9,000 or whatever. So,
but if you got that much money in your account for that thing, you're laughing. And
yeah, if someone comes along and buys that 20 quid keyboard for £9,000, then well, hey, you're singing. But they'll probably be a bit disappointed when they get it.
Well, I think if one of them wants to start doing fruit and veg at the minute, I'll push it on my website and see if we can shift that. You know, we might have more.
There we go. Right. Guys, the ones in chat, obviously people are watching. If you've got any questions for the distributors and stuff, we will go through the chat in a few minutes. Feel free to ask. We have got distributors watching. I have seen that there is at least one of them on there. I know 2 or 3 of them has told me they're going to be watching tonight, but obviously I can't always see who's watching unless they comment. So if you have got any questions and you want to know why distributors do certain things, maybe not anything specific distributor, but just general questions, ask, and they'll
I've got
hopefully
a private
answer.
chat again.
So actually, let's go on to the i3i next, if you can, because we're getting quite into the show. So so i3i sent in some information. That's i3i distribution, and Jen's going to read out what they've had to say.
Okay, this is from Paul at i3i, and he's telling us what they can do better. i3i personally is to get better at social media and more proactive. i3i website is very basic looking and needs a redesign to be better and represent brands, provide more information and ease of access. So that's 2 things that he's admitted they could do better.
Which is good, that they're actually admitting they know they've got issues and they are addressing them. So that's nice.
And then what they think that we do well. Personal touch. We try to be personable as possible. That's important. That's important in retail. To add to the point above, we help with marketing designs for customers, putting their logo on a poster design that they can print out for their shop, occasionally a free of charge RMA stock for their displays, etc. We think saving the reseller time and making the product more sellable benefits them and us. And it does. Dummy products, we used to set those on the shelf in Chip's computers. And people would come in and have I would like to have that motherboard in my case, you know, just, and you think, and they look at, can I touch it? Yeah, you won't hurt it, you know, it's just nice to have. Also, trust. We hopefully show that we are trustworthy in the sense that they can come to us. We don't take a huge margin despite potentially being able to in the knowledge they'll eventually know they are getting decent pricing without asking. So you don't have to barter for a good price. They're confident that they're passing on the best that they can. The challenges they face, he says, as with every industry, costs are typically more, which means this is passed on or absorbed. Also, stock levels held may be smaller to reduce exposure. So that's what Paul at I3I has had to say.
Yeah, it's sent quite a lot more over, to be honest. It'll probably take us an hour to read all of it out. So, to be honest with
I
you,
just kind
but
of condensed it down.
definitely a lot there. But
He was keen to participate though.
yes.
So
But one thing, what I've seen from all of the distributors saying, and I've spoken to a lot of them on the phone, including Paul. I had a very good chat with him actually. Went on for a good probably half an hour, 40 minutes. Is a lot of them are finding that people are wanting cheaper stuff, and obviously the margins are lower, so they're having to cut margins, and it's a race to the bottom, which I have seen within the Tech for Techs community as well. We did a survey or poll a few days ago. I'll put the results up on the screen, basically asking what's the most important thing from a distributor. So is it the pricing, is it availability, and all this, that, and the other. We did the same poll just before we went into lockdown before COVID, so about 3 years ago now, and pricing actually came in at second place. Pricing now has come out way top. 42% of people, and this is 117 votes. Sorry, my crude writing at the bottom. That's just so I can remember. 117 votes, and 42% said that price is the most important thing. Yeah. So 42% was the price. Then product selection came in, looks like second place, about 16%, and then stuff like relationship with account manager and so forth came in after. So you can see what's the most important thing to people at the moment is price. And it goes with exactly what the distributors were saying, is they're finding that people are basically, that's the most important thing to them at the moment. And it's a race to the bottom. And sometimes, as we all know, cheap stuff is usually cheap for a reason, and some of them don't want to stock this cheap stuff, and then some of them are even doing own brands and stuff like that to get around it. So it's definitely something to look into. Let's go to chat next. Let's quickly get caught up with that, then we'll go to Ian, Ken, and then one of the question you've got coming. So let's have a look. So where are we? So Neo Computers. Oh, we had that one.
I think we're caught up.
Yeah, we caught with that one. Sorry. So we got Facebook user saying, "Sorry, I'm late." We've got John saying, "I have trouble sourcing higher end laptops for customers. I like to see some better options from my distributors in that front." Okay, it's a good point there. I do find that getting high end stuff can be a bit more difficult. I know what you mean. However, being a one-man band, a lot of the time, I just don't have the time to be on the phone to them and see if there's a chance of getting cheaper. That's from Neo Computers on about obviously calling your account manager. Yeah, I know what you mean. If obviously I'm out and about on a customer's, I'm going to look and see where I can get the part from cheaper. I ain't got time to spend 10 minutes on the phone to one and then another and so forth. But sometimes if you are buying in bulk or whatever, then sometimes it is best to give them a call. But yeah, totally understand Neo on that one. PC guy saying, "Evening all." We've also got Neil saying, "Ken, I used to do this. However, I got a few scripts set up to do it all automatically now, and it's much cheaper doing it in the long run to pay someone to write these scripts and doing it manually." So might be an option for you guys to probably talk to each other or something if there is some sort of automated script. Obviously, you, Neo and Ken, you're both in the Tech for Text group, so you can obviously find each other in there. Right, so next one was Adam saying, let's have a look. Guys, question for all you, please. Does being an official distributor mean anything? Good question. Any official distributors in the chat, you can tell us. Does official distributor mean anything? Because I must admit, I've seen distributors myself, sometimes there'll be two of them saying they're official distributors, or one's a distributor and another one is not the official distributor, and the one what's not official is cheaper than the official one. So sometimes it doesn't really matter which one's official, because it's the same product. We're going to get it from whichever one's cheaper. If there's nothing else in it, if we just want a PC case which is £100 at one, 110 at the other, they both charge a £5 delivery. I think we all know we're going to go for the one what's £100, because it's exactly the same thing.
And there you have it. Mike from Spire just answered your question that it absolutely matters. But in what way, Mike, if you care to elaborate on that?
I was going to say, some of the sites I buy from that are official distributors, I can often find the products cheaper when I go online to a non-distributor. Like when I say non-distributor, I mean e-tailers like Scan, eBuyer. They often have products cheaper than what the official distributors can get them for, and they seem to get all the price breaks. And I often ask my distributors, why is it cheaper at Scan than it is with you when you're the official distributor, and they're getting these big price breaks, but you're not? You must buy it in the same quantity as them. And I don't know, maybe it's the manufacturers have their favourites.
Right, so I'm going to say it looks like, I'm guessing that's Mike again. There is so much support available through official Disty, and that includes pricing. We have a line straight through to every rep for all the brands we represent. So that sounds pretty good for Spy. If you've got any problems, I suppose if you need any spare parts or warranty returns or whatever, you've got more of a direct connection with the vendors, I suppose. I suppose it just depends on what you're buying sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously, if it's something what could go wrong, then it's probably a hell of a lot better going direct to the official rather than the non-official. I suppose it's a bit like when you get your when you're going for getting a new mobile phone, or not a landline or broadband or whatever. You could go through one of these smaller companies which end up having to go through BT or whoever it is in the end, and so forth. So you're sort of going through about 3 different people before you get to the actual person you need to speak to. Where if you call BT, for example, you'll probably speak directly to the person that needs to sort the problem. So okay.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
That's that. We've got Corwoods seems to be agreeing with Mike there.
Yeah.
Got a lot of comments coming in. So sorry if I missed anyone's comments and so forth.
I'm going to go on and get some of these that have come in on my private line here.
Yeah, if you get one of those, and then we'll go to Ian and Ken.
I've got here from David. David says, "What I hate is when the disty forces their own brands down your throat. My customers want the brands they've come to know over the years, not something they have never heard of." Okay, I know why distributors do that, but I see his point as well. And also, I've got one more. Jason says, "What I hate is when the distributor announces they will be the new place to go for brand X, but when you go to their website, you see 1 case and 2 keyboards. Variety, please."
Yeah, I must.
And I know where he's coming from too. I really get irritated. Nothing ruffles my feathers more than, let's just say, brand X, my favorite brand, and I won't say what that is. And I go there, getting all excited. Oh, they'll have the new case. And then I see a case. I'm like, where's the rest of it? And like he says, there's just 2 keyboards there.
Yeah, I've seen that plenty of times. Right, let's go over to Ian and Ken. Let's think of some good things to say about distributors and stuff. You can say which distributor if you want. That's up to you, or you can keep it generic. So, Ian, say something good about a specific distributor or in general.
Funny, there's a comment that Carl made on here about, and it's something that I've noticed about one of the disties, where it says one of the disties we use has just started ringing me almost every day that I create a basket just to get a quote. And I noticed this because I'd done the same thing when I was building up a basket for a PC build. And all of a sudden, I got my account manager emailing me saying, "If you want that, I can put it through for you today." And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa.
I've had that happen.
You're in my room or something. But I've noticed that. and it's quite off-putting sometimes when you think, no, I'm just looking for prices. But no, a positive thing to say. I say my I deal with Spire quite a lot now. Actually, I buy stuff from Target as well, and I go to all the other ones. I always go to find out who's got the best price. But I find the service I'm getting from Spire is improved from when I first started. When I first joined Tech for Tech, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I can't remember now. My time's rubbish. And I find they've really upped their game. Matt's quite on the ball. He kind of knows what products I want as well. And Callum from VIP as well. When he was my account manager, he's now moved up into a higher end position. He was very good. He would email me things that I might like, and if I emailed him asking him for products, it would be within the hour, maybe 2 hours, that I'd get a response. Yeah. And that I like. I don't expect them to answer me back in 5-10 minutes. But Matt's the same. If I email Matt Spire, then he's usually within half an hour. I've got a response, and I can go back and haggle, and he always comes back with a little bit of money off, or chucky free shit.
Saying that, Matt at Spire, anytime I email him, he's very quick to respond. So I have to say that, yeah.
He is. He listens to what you want as well, and he helps you out. He's helped me out with RMAs. He CCs you into people that will deal with it to get it done quicker. So I do. I think they've upped their game since I first started dealing with them, and I buy quite a lot from them really. And they seem to have more of a product range, apart from PSUs. Well, the high end up ones anyway. So yeah, no, I've been really impressed with the way that they've turned it around. Certainly from a few years ago. And some of the independent ones, I'm trying to use other ones as well, like Paul from i3i. So I'm asking him for prices. Some distributors take their time, and then they miss out on the business. If I have to wait a day or two, I can't often wait that time. So I've gone off and bought it from someone else that responds really quickly. Might not be the cheapest, but it's there and it's what I want. So I'll just pay the extra £1 or £2 and get the product that I want there and then, instead of having to wait around for a couple of days. So but they're very good. I've had some positives, but that Cole's comment just resonated with me so much, because it felt like Big Brother's watching me. It really did.
There we go. So yeah, it's nice to see what Spire are doing in that regards with Matt. He's like the Tech for Tech official account manager sort of thing. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of you using probably other account managers there, but it doesn't seem nice that Spire's actually got a specific one what people can reach out to in the group and the community if you are a Tech for Tech member, which is really good to see. I know CMS did do that at one point, but I think things have changed and there's new account managers as well, so that they'd have to clarify on that one. But yeah, I do like to see that Spire seems to be doing well out of that as well. And I know Matt's got I think he got nominated a couple of times for awards and stuff like that. So
when we went to visit, his phone was ringing off the hook.
Yes, so very nice company to visit. Actually, I was actually quite surprised.
I was impressed with the tour.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Impressed is probably the right.
A lot of times you get the mental image in your head that you've got the person with the little headset on and they're radioing back to the stop room, and then there's somebody with a pallet lift. But it was very organized and everything. When we went back into the warehouse, everything had a place and was in its place. And you could have probably handed me a list and said, go get this off the shelf, and I could have found it. It was that organized. Mm-hmm. And then we went and toured, and they even have a place where they make their custom computers and everything. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't checked them out for custom computers, I was really impressed in their build. There was a guy over in the corner, I forget his name, but he was meticulous with the cabling.
Yeah.
And he had all the parts set out for each build the same way that I do it. Motherboard, processor, memory stacked up with the case. And he had, I guess, 17 or 18 builds going at one go. And he had everything nice, organized and everything. and you just knew that this guy was going to come through for you.
Yeah, it was pretty good, especially he was doing stress testing on it all as
Yeah.
well after it was built and stuff, which was good. Right, let's go on. We were getting quite far into the show now. It's not far off the end. So let's go to Ken, then we're going to read out what VIP had to say. So, Ken, any positives? Hopefully you've got...
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair few. I mean, there's one distributor that we use primarily at the minute, Target. I think everybody knows them. I know Paul earlier said price was the main driver at the minute. And I know for us, if the price isn't quite right, if that distributor can save us money in other ways, i.e., with time or effort, then that will make up for that. So their PC builder, it's a lifesaver for us. We can throw a quote together in, I wouldn't say minutes, because the process with the customer takes a little while when you're sat with them, but it does save us an inordinate amount of time, which,
Yeah.
if we can't get the product at the right price, I would rather go for quality anyway, given the opportunity. So I think their PC builder, the feeds are spot on. I can't complain about those at all. And I do know that last time I had a tour of their place, the build room was quite big at the time, but I believe it's getting bigger at the minute. So I know they're expanding that side of things as well.
I haven't had a tour. I've got to get a tour going there.
I had a look round, would be a good few years ago now, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I think, but not recently.
Well, when I was there before Christmas, I did get a nice mince pie and a cup of tea off them.
Nice one.
So bribery every time, don't mind. But I think the way that their account managers engage as well. I mean, it's not just the account managers; they're the people further up the chain engage with you as well. They actually, I mean, I do get them reaching out now and then asking for opinions, and I do volunteer opinion outside of them asking as well. And they take it on board. It might not be something for them at the time, but they do listen.
Yeah.
And it's we kind of feel valued by them at the minute, and that's really nice. It's a two-way street. I think
It is nice.
I think one of the things I saw on the wall when I did visit, they do well when the customers do well. So it's in their best interest to look after us, so which is great, and I mean, it is nice that they do listen. And I mean, we have had, I think every distributor can move boxes really, really well. There is the odd hiccup with logistics, and I think before Christmas, I think every distributor had problems with DPD, Yodel, Hermes, or whatever they're called these days. And that was beyond their control. And rather than slate them, it was a case of, right, how can we work with it and try and get around it? And I think Target came up with a plan where if you were within a certain distance of them and it was easier to drive down and pick it up, then great. That's what we did. We actually drove down to see them. It was a quick trip, and I think it was about 2 hours drive for us in each direction. But if it meant getting people their stock before Christmas, then so be it. That's what we have to do. I couldn't do that with some other suppliers because they're either on the south coast or they're all the way to the other side of the country. It wasn't practical. But I think in terms of feedback with Target, I think the one thing they do really well is listen. They will listen to the feedback that you give them. And it's worked for us. And I mean, even products that they don't normally carry, we get some oddball requests coming in here. I mean, you know yourself, you can't control what comes through a shop door. And it's the same with business customers. They sometimes throw curveballs at us, and it'll be so off the map. We'll just ring our account manager at Target saying, look, can you do something with this? Can you find a source? Can you point with the right way? And 9 times out of 10, they either pull it out of the bag or they're quick to come back and say, actually, no, that's not in our wheelhouse. We can't do that. But at least they answer straight away and let you know. So I find that they engage quite well, which, we're really happy about. Drives that relationship quite well.
That sounds pretty good. That we've got VIP, and it looks like Spire saying that you can welcome to drop into their places. VIP's got a counter for collections, and walking around Spire, they've got plenty of room in there as well to allow you in. Speaking of VIP, I think Cheryl sent over some information earlier from Elliot and Dave, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Basically, it says. Back up. Right. Okay. Challenges for us right now are as follows: profitability with the dollar rate historically low, combined with the increased cost and energy borrowing, it's become even more difficult for distributors to make a sufficient margin.
Mm.
Credit insurance, marketing, reducing risk appetite, and subsequent strain on customer credit limits. Market demand being down, meaning stock turnover is slower, which puts pressure on the cash flow. I feel you there. Even in normal times, distributors are squeezed between customer and vendor. When times are tough, this means our customers need additional support, stock rotation, payment terms, call off orders at a time when vendors have less funding available, creating pressure for everyone. And that was from VIP.
So there you go. So I think that's three of the distributors we've heard from tonight, and as I said, they're all mentioning about the squeeze on money, low prices and stuff. Energy obviously taking a toll. I know our energy. We had to when we got this place, we had to renew our energy, and we're paying like I think we get 30p deduction off of it, but it's like £1.20 a kilowatt, where it used to be 13 pence. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a lot of businesses. What we work with business clients who own shops. I think it was Ian I was speaking to before the show, and there's one of them who they spend normally £1,500 a month on their electric and gas. So this is I think it's mainly a takeaway, and the price they're going to have to pay when they renew it is going to be around about 10.5 grand a month. Where do people find 120 grand from over a
And
year?
and
That's
to
a
put
lot of money to
and to
pay for
put
your
that into
electric.
perspective, it costs me more for the 1 hour that we bring you this show on a Thursday night. Just one Thursday night, it costs me more for my electric than it does all day for me just doing my regular work.
It adds up because we have to heat the place and so
Yeah,
forth,
I
and
mean,
so on, everything
I
we're
think
running.
if I could butt in there for a second, I think we went out of contract just before Christmas when the proverbial poop was hitting the fan power wise. Um, Historically, we were about £6,500 a year for this big place running
hmm
normal hours. The projection for the coming year is £81,500.
Yeah, that's a lot of
So
money.
we've gone down the route of solar panels,
Yeah.
generator, a biodiesel one, battery system. The capital cost I think came in at about 45,000 all told, and the
Yeah.
running cost for the diesel I think was about 12,000. So we're still cheaper going off grid than we are taking contract. But I know we've got a really good broker, looks after our energy, and the good news is prices are coming down now, and he thinks by April will be somewhere near normality. I don't think things ever going to go back to 13 pence a kilowatt hour. He's
Yeah.
predicting about 25,
Really.
26 pence. He's quoting us
Mm.
at the minute. So it is settling down, and I hope that brings some sort of stability to the consumer market as
It's
well,
got
so that because
Has to.
we don't have price caps on the business side like consumers do at home.
hmm
Um, and I mean, things where we haven't had the heating on here for a little while now, and thankfully, big windows, nice sunny day, it heats the shop, so we're quite happy.
same here.
We bought a fleece, we've stuck extra fleeces on. Um, but it's bad when we have to come to things like that. But because of what we do, repairing machines, we have to use power. It's just the nature of our work. Um,
Mm.
but I'm kind of hoping that will, the savings will start coming through. Hopefully, that might take some of the pressure off the disties as well, so that they can help us a little more. It might be if they can't help her with pricing, maybe they can help her with wraparound services, help her with marketing, help her with improved product feeds, help in other areas that will save us money, which in
To
Yeah.
turn,
give you a clue about my power bill this past go, I keep harping on about it. I know, but gosh, it was high. I have flown from America to England and back for less than my power bill was this month. No. I mean, let's get real, people. That was absolutely uncalled for. 850 pounds for a power bill. 850 pounds.
Can I
Yeah.
swap?
Two people.
Yeah, I was
Two
going to say.
people. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's just the two of us with no customers coming in. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
but yeah, obviously Ken's obviously got quite a large shop and lots of rooms. But just imagine what the distributors may have to be paying.
Yeah.
Big warehouses, lots of staff in there, meeting rooms and so forth. I wouldn't like to think how much some of them are paying if they have had to renew their contracts recently. They're
When I
probably,
got the bill, Phil just about had to pick me up off the floor.
yeah, compared to normal, it was quite high. Right, okay, so we're pretty much over the time limit anyway. But one thing I must say is thank you for the distributors who have commented.
Hmm.
Shame we didn't get more commenting and getting back to us, to be honest with you. But thank you for the ones who did. It
Yes.
shows that you are wanting to work with Tech for Tech members, especially the ones who
Absolutely.
have been in chat tonight. So thank you those for joining in. Sorry if we've not been able to read everyone's comments tonight because there's quite a few of them come through, especially at one
And
point.
some good comments,
And
too.
some stuff, good stuff. So I'll do my best to read through those probably later and respond to each one if I can. So again, thank you for that. One thing I must admit, I did like was with i3i. I must admit the comments you made about they're actually willing. I've not heard a distributor themselves doing this. I've heard of vendors. They're actually willing to actually help with your artwork and design and so forth and stuff like that. Which, okay, we've had the distributors in the past to give you maybe some artwork for your website and stuff like that. I think Target do a few posters and stuff like that, but they sounding like they're wanting it to be actual bespoke for your shop or your business. So that sounds pretty good.
At one time, we got in Chip's Computers, and this was a while back, when Hits was at Gigabyte, if that tells you anything. We got a really nice poster made for our counter, a bespoke poster, if you remember that.
Yeah, so
And back when Pete was at Bullguard, we had a bespoke poster made up and things like that.
Yeah.
So the vendors are willing to, help you. You've got to ask.
You've got to ask, and some of them are more willing than others, and sometimes you just have to keep on at them. If they keep pounding you, saying you need to buy stuff from us, then hell,
I mean,
tell them, well, you need to
Phil
start
kept
helping us
on
first.
Pete until he gave him a rug for the store.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't shut up about that rug, and he finally got him a rug that said
Yeah,
Bullguard.
so we don't do them anymore. I was like, you can find one. But yeah, anyway. Right, guys. Ian and Ken, so I'll start with Ian first. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we call it a night? Any praises or any stories? Obviously, make it short if you have.
Just a very, very quick one from me. But if you're
Okay,
a distributor, if you're a distributor bringing customers regularly, please don't pocket dial us by accident and then carry on with another conversation in the background with a significant other. I'll leave that one there.
That's true, Ben Wilson. Vendors do things if you ask. Talking about our nice shiny Stream Deck.
Yes, we do have a nice Stream Deck.
And thank you for that.
But actually, Ben, if I remember right, you offered it. I didn't actually ask, but I'll let you off with that one.
We'll let you off.
And that's obviously Corsair, that is. So obviously there's email. If anyone does, if any of the vendors do want to put the details in the chat, feel free so people can contact you. That's feel free. And again, you vendors, VIP, i3i, CMS, Spire, whatever, come on the show. Obviously be live like Ian is, like Ken is, like we are. Join us. It's free to do. You can bring on your vendors and promote them and so forth. We want you guys on the show. Obviously, it's because people want to see what you've got to offer. So please come on there. So there you go.
You're welcome to join us in person if you're ever in the area as well.
Yep.
I'll take a back seat and you can sit here in my chair with Bill, or if you want to sit with me, I'll do that too. Whatever floats your boat.
There you go. That's it. So, right, okay. Ian, I don't think came to you. Did you have anything last to say for us?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet, don't worry. It's a point that Ken made, actually, and also what VIP said in their statement about pricing. We all know that prices have gone up globally, etc. But I think Ken made a really good point. And it's about those additional things, especially for sole traders like me. I'd love to have some assistance or notices that I can put on my website to advertise brands that some of my suppliers offer, and I need to get some really good feeds for my WordPress website. Some of them don't work very well with it, unfortunately, and I think that's probably half the problem I'm having. But I think it's really good that I don't mind not going to places like Amazon and Scan, etc., and sticking with the disties if the prices are a couple of quid high. If I get that additional support and help as well, because I prefer to support them, because, as I said earlier, across the board with a lot of them, their services has improved over the years I've dealt with them, and I always go to disties first rather than going to e-tailers, always. And I like the account managers I've got. You know, some of them do change quite regularly, but I've got quite a stable group, and they're quite cool. And often they just phone me and have a general chit chat, and not actually want to sell me anything, which is quite nice occasionally as well.
Yeah.
So no, keep up the good work, guys. And I was going to ask a question about visiting when you're in the area, because I would like to go and see some of the actual warehouses and the way they work. And
I'm
was
sure
down
if
there
we
by one of
got an email over to someone, they could
Yeah,
get it arranged for you. Most people are,
Yeah.
wanting to show off their
The place, especially
place.
now
yeah.
after
Mike said it on
COVID and
there as
stuff.
well. You're welcome to, and I will when I'm in the area. I know they're in Dorset, so I'll definitely go and have a chat and drop in and say hi. Yeah, I like.
That's it. Yeah, I must admit, Spire's nice, Target's nice. We've got to go and see a few others, and
Yeah,
I want
we
to go and
do.
see the guys at i3i CMS as well. I haven't been to Target for a while, so I'd like to go and see them at some point. Just finding time, to be honest with you. So
Maybe after Tech Max we can get around more,
a bit more.
because right now it's crunch time. 3 months till Tech Max. Can you believe it?
No,
Yeah,
3 months.
it's going like that, isn't it?
it's going pretty quick.
Wow. So
I need
if
to
you
do a
have
tech
not
tour.
booked your tickets for Tech Max, do so. Go to our website and get yourself booked. We have day tickets left. We don't have any evening tickets, but we have, for those of you who don't need lunch, we have a 99p ticket. And for those of you who do want lunch, we have a £1 ticket. And it's basically that way just to know who we need to plan catering for. Is the way we did it. So, if you're coming after lunch, we don't have to plan catering for you. That's what that's for.
Yeah, because you can imagine, obviously, paying for 1,000 people for meals in a day isn't cheap. So obviously, every little helps when we know how many we're buying for. But yeah, and vendors, I know there's some of you who haven't committed yet. Make sure you do actually sign up for TechMax. So if you're wanting to obviously show your stuff up, email us. The information's on the screen, or just go on the Tech for Tech's website, go to TechMax, use the contact form. You should all have my details anyway. But for those of you who haven't signed up, there is still a few spots left if you are interested. But I have a feeling they'll be gone before
And
the
one
event.
last comment. Michael from Target has just given an open invite for any visitors to sunny Castleford, and they welcome feedback.
Is it guaranteeing the sun, though?
I hope so. I'm tired of being cold.
Right, guys. I think we're going to have to call it here. It's getting on. We're nearly 20 minutes over. So, but
It's been a great show.
Thank you for joining us, Ian. Thank you, Ken. Thank you for the distributors who did actually get back in touch with us and gave us information. So, and obviously for all the ones who are taking part, as well as the vendors who I've seen in there as well. There's plenty of you in there. I can see quite a few different names there. So again, thank you. But again, as we said, make sure you sign up for TechMax. If you haven't, make sure you put yourself down for the awards as well. As we've said, it's all on the Tech for Tech website. So you can get everywhere from the Tech for Tech website, the awards, the events, the shows, the reviews. probably other stuff I've not mentioned. It's there as well. Okay, so thanks again. And as we go, I'm going to leave you with... Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for a quid. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com.